Ukraine has declared it has no interest in holding on to the Russian territory it seized in its cross-border raid. At a road sign in the Kursk region, Kyiv's troops boast about their successes just over a week after they blindsided Moscow by launching the brazen incursion. Ukraine has accused Russia of launching more than 2,000 strikes from the region in less than 2 months. Kyiv says there were 45 attacks in the past day alone, killing 1 civilian and injuring 2 others.
Ukraine is not interested in taking the territory of the Kursk region, but we want to protect the lives of our people. The sooner Russia accepts a peace formula that leads to a just peace, the sooner the incursions of the Ukrainian defence forces into the Russian territory will cease.
Ukraine claims it's advanced even further into Russia after taking about 1,000 square kilometres of the Kursk region, which is the area seen here in blue. Now, Ukraine's military chief has updated the president on the progress of the operation.
In the past 24 hours, our troops advanced in certain directions for 1 to 3 kilometres. Control was gained over 40 square kilometres of territory. As of today, 74 settlements are under our control. Fights are ongoing along the entire front line. The situation, despite the high intensity of combat, is under control.
This is the largest attack on Russia since President Vladimir Putin launched the invasion of Ukraine 2.5 years ago, and the first time Russian land has been occupied since the Second World War. The Ukrainian leader has suggested Russian prisoners of war captured during its raid could be swapped for detained Ukrainian fighters in what he calls an exchange fund.
I thank all our guys who are replenishing the exchange fund. This is very important for our state. Hundreds of Russian soldiers have already surrendered, and they will all be treated humanely, a level of treatment they have never experienced even in their own Russian army.
There is no light, no connection. The birds stopped singing, helicopters and planes fly over the yard, and shells were flying. We left everything behind.
That's the experience of one of close to 200,000 people who've been evacuated from Russia's border regions as a result of the fighting. The Russian Defence Ministry claims it has managed to thwart Ukraine's advance at villages more than 25 kilometres from the border. Russia has criticised Western allies at the United Nations for not condemning Ukraine's incursion.
We haven't heard a word of condemnation of these actions from Western sponsors of the Kyiv regime, who continue to cover up the abhorrent crimes of their puppet in the same manner as they ignored its atrocities in Donbass for more than 8 years. They go on repeating that Ukraine has the legal right to defend itself, while referencing the attacks on civilians in the Kursk region.
Ukraine is disclosing few details about its objectives. The US says it had no knowledge or involvement in Kyiv's incursion. Ukraine's Western allies are showing little sympathy for Russia, accusing it of hypocrisy. Now the war has spread to its territory.
This is Putin's war, and the means by which he and his armed forces pursue it, which is the crime here. The UK again calls on Russia to end its illegal invasion and withdraw its forces from Ukraine. We will never falter in our support for Ukraine for as long as it takes to secure a just and sustainable peace based on the principles of the UN Charter and international law.